Welcome to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with your host, life coach Jeff Relaford. This podcast is designed for those who wish to change their inner self in order to maximize outward potential. So come redirect, regroup, and refocus with your number one life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff here, coming to you live from the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast, y'all. So, I want to do something a little different today, y'all. What I want to do is I actually want to go live today because I had my mind made up. I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get this episode recorded. But as I got to thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? I got a lot of good stuff going on, y'all. And with me having so much good stuff going on, I need to make sure that I can spit some stuff to y'all today. So that's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and come on here and make sure y'all are going to get some very valuable information for today. So real quick, I'm trying to share this to my personal page because I always tell people to tune in. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Tune in to listen for today. Boom. All right. I shared it to my personal page, y'all. So we in the game, we in the building. So yes, what we're going to talk about today is if any of y'all listen to the video that I actually had uploaded before this time here. Okay. What we were talking about was this. I said, hey, what we're going to talk about today is selling. Okay, because last week, if you do recall, I talked about the 4 levels of what, people? The 4 levels of success. It was implementation, right? Unification, okay? Communication. And then we fell right into the realm of imagination. And I said where money starts to get being made. And remember, go back and watch the last episode if you missed it. I was able to actually relate each and every level to business and your personal life. So if you missed out on that, go back and watch the previous episode because I was letting people know how that relates to your business and your personal life. And today talking about selling is going to be nothing short of that. So, you know, I got a mentor that I listen to. And with this mentor that I was listening to, the whole thing is, thank you, Greg Gray, for the like, brother. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate it, brother. And so what we're moving into is this, people. When it comes down to selling, I'm going through some training. I've been listening to a brother for a while. I'm gonna let y'all know after a while who I've been listening to, but I want to see if y'all literally get these nuggets that I'm dropping to y'all. Okay. So selling, you have to be able to fall in love with it. Now, I'm gonna tell you why you have to be able to fall in love with selling. And the reason why you have to be able to fall in love with selling is because for some people, we have been doing it our whole lives. And I'm going to put it in a perspective like this. We've been doing it our whole lives because what have you had to do for people each and every day of your life? You've had to show them something, right? You go on a job and what do you have to do? You have to show them that you're capable of doing the job. You go on an interview. What do people say? It's that old age term that people use, and it's called selling yourself, correct? It is called selling yourself. Come on now. Now, I know some of y'all starting to really think about what I'm saying here. It's called selling yourself. So that is how it pertains to your personal life. But if you're able to fall in love with you selling yourself, I asked the question to you today, how come you are not falling in love with selling when it comes to your business? Okay. So what have I done in like 30 seconds or less? I'm gonna tell you what I just did. I showed you the personal relationship between selling in your life, which you have had to do for people for your whole life. And you'll be proving to people and showing stuff to people till the day you die. And then I asked you if you can see that personal relationship that you have with yourself in selling, how come you can't apply that to your business? And now I'm going to make a shift real quick. I'm going to show you how to apply that to your business. We have something called an EIN, right? In EIN, we say it's 9 digits like a social security number. So I want you to think of your business as a person. It could even be you. The brand could be you. So once again, how it relates to the personal life, guess what? You're selling yourself to people. But what you want to do is when you have a particular brand, okay, when you have a particular brand or yourself may be the brand, you need to make sure that you fit an audience, okay? Hear me with what I'm saying. You need to make sure you fit your audience. So I'm going to tell you how I fit a particular audience with what I'm telling you today. If you go ahead and you have sessions with Life Coach Jeff will teach you how to become your brand. And also I will show you how to scale your business also. So you can end up making more money while promoting yourself and how you're actually able to help change people's lives. So I'm telling you, people, for a lot of people, they haven't been in front of the camera at all. Like, I'm going to tell y'all, when I first started my first live, y'all, it was very hard for me to be in front of the camera because a lot of times we don't know what we're going to say. You want to know? I'll tell you why it's hard for you to sell the first time you get in front of the camera. It's hard to sell the first time you get in front of the camera. It's all because, guess what? Hear me, people. It is only because you do not have faith in what it is that you're selling. And for you to have faith in what it is that you're selling, okay, I'm going to let you know, in order to have faith in what it is that you're selling, you have to have gone through the trenches of what it takes to become the thing. Let me say that. You have to become the thing in which you want to sell. So what does that mean, people? That means all you are is just a vessel. You are a vessel of knowledge, information, prospect, and wealth to people. That is all that is attained into you. Because what you always have to remember is that there's a payout for everything. Now, for some of y'all here, what I mean by payout, a payout is not always monetary, okay? All a payout means is just a result. See, a lot of times what we're not willing to do is we're not willing to sit people down and to show them the result or give them the result that it might bring them within the conversation that we have. And this is why I tell y'all, people, selling is nothing more than a conversation. So think about how you sell yourself, right? When you sell yourself, what are you doing? You are having a personal conversation with someone about you. Come on now. I just need a few of y'all to actually listen and comprehend to what I'm saying here. When you actually have a conversation, when you're selling yourself, it pertains to who? You. So when you're learning how to sell yourself, that's right. Facts. Selling is a conversation. My man, he paid attention. He heard me on this. So all it is you're able to sell yourself. You do it in an interview. You do it with people every day of your life, right? So the whole key to this, if you're able to be in love with yourself, okay, hear me. If you are able to be in love with yourself, you need to be able to take that very same action and apply that same love to your product or service that you are selling. Real talk. I could have done this all in 8 minutes. Real talk. Like we only been on for 8 minutes and 10 seconds. So I probably could have said all this in 7 seconds. But people, Jeff, asked me, how do I do this? I'm going to tell you a little bit on how to do this. You have to overcome something that's called anxiety. And all anxiety is fear of an outcome, of an unexpected or expected outcome. Because the thing is, we all can't predict the future, correct? We all cannot predict the future. So what do we rely on? We always want to rely on something that gave us some type of credibility in the back end, right? So what I mean by something that gave us credibility in the back end, all it is just proven results. When you're selling yourself and you're pitching yourself to somebody, you're not banking on the fact that you know what's going to come up in the future and you'll be able to easily adapt to it. Because 9 times out of 10, sometimes you will be thrown curveballs and you haven't been sold. Okay. You haven't been able to sell somebody the thing that you're going to be thrown to because it's new to you. It's completely new. So something that is new to you, that's what makes it harder for you to sell it. You can't sell new. You can sell the idea of if a situation arises, you can adapt to it. You know what I mean? But you can't sell what's going to happen in that moment of adaptability. You can't sell it at all. I need to let y'all know this because that's how selling applies to your personal life. So now let's bring it on back and let's drop it to your business or that passion that you say that you have or you desire. Okay. You have to be willing to accept the unknown and known outcomes of your business. Okay. One of my mentors said this. He said, do not worry Okay. He said, do not worry about the outcome. All the pieces in the middle, okay, and what it takes to get to the goal will work itself out. And I'll tell you why. It all works out because of this. If you're willing to go to a job, sit at a job, okay? And I'm going to look directly in the camera when I say this. If you're willing to go to a job where you have to sell yourself at, right? And you have to put in 8, 12, or 16 hours a day, right? And these people don't know the type of work that you are capable of doing. But you have to prove to them that you're capable of doing that work. And then once you start to execute, right? If you start to execute, and when you start to execute, now you are proving that you can do the job for the task that's given. You have to look at the product or service that you offer, and that's the same deal. Some things are very repetitive. Repetitive equals mastery. I want to let you all know that. Repetitiveness equals mastery. So for those people who have a product or service and all it is repetitive, more power to you, because what you're doing is you are creating mastery behind it. There's a lot of stuff that some people can do with their eyes closed, or when they do come up with something new, they have to adapt to it. And what do? We go straight to Google, right, people? When we encounter something we haven't seen before, we go straight to Google, we go straight to YouTube, because we know in some realm or some way, somebody has achieved that very same thing that we are looking to achieve, right? Somebody has achieved that very same thing that we have achieved. So what do you do when you get the knowledge? You go back and you become more comfortable with pitching that idea, pitching that concept. So I will tell you this. I have an ability to help you become a personality and help brand yourself, because this is all the things that I've had to do. The proven results are in what I've done already. So if you want to see the proven results, all you have to do is check podcast episodes. Like I said, I've gone on Dope Living TV and that other podcast that I'm affiliated with. Shout out to my Dope Living family. Whoop, whoop. I've gone on there and I've showed you all how life coaching works. And it can effectively work if you are willing to put in the work. Now, the same thing when I go ahead and I help people scale businesses. It will work if you go ahead and you apply the principles added. I don't worry about the in-between, because you know why? I want you to think about it like this, people. For your in-between, you're always going to have to deal with an uncertain outcome. You're always going to have to find some way to be adaptable. And then you just got to run with it. Always. You're always going to have an uncertain outcome, whether you believe it's going to happen or not. You can believe all day it's going to happen, but it's still an uncertain outcome until that outcome manifests itself. Correct? It's always going to be an uncertain outcome until it manifests itself. So this is why I say, people, you have to fall in love with selling when it's pertained to your particular product or service. You have to get to a point to where the product or service speaks for itself. I can tell you, I'm at a point where I know my product and service speaks for itself. I don't have to pitch it to you. I tell somebody, hey, listen to the podcast, or hey, go here to watch me, or it's just me simply having a conversation with somebody. But you have to get to the point where you can do that. I'm going to let you all in on something. I'm not going to let y'all in on that. I'm going to let y'all in on that while I'm in the process of it. But it will be a big booster to what I'm saying now. Okay? I'm going to let y'all know it'll be a great booster for what's actually being said now. But be on the lookout for that, because I'm going to actually reveal that sooner than later, people, sooner than later. But it all pertains to your willpower and your selling. It shows you how a simple conversation can land dollars in your pocket. If a simple conversation can land you getting a job that you have to be a slave for 8, 12, or 16 hours of a day, you can surely apply this to your business. Okay. Now, there are a few entrepreneurs. There's a guy by the name of Ralph Lauren Starchild. He's a singer. He just got signed to an indie label and everything like that. Ralph, this is perfect for you, buddy. This is perfect for you, man. Y'all go ahead, check out Ralph Lauren Starchild. He sings a blend of R&B and rock, and dude is awesome. Dude's amazing. So I threw the shameless plug in there for my man real quick. But with that being said, know that there are also ways that if he becomes in love with selling and pitching himself and being comfortable with setting the right price, Okay. That's very big, people. Setting the right price, okay, for what you offer, which is all just knowing your value. It just stems up to knowing your value. If you know your value, you now control command of the room. The worst things that two people can say is yes or no. I say yes can be a worse thing because now you have that fear of trying to prove yourself, right? Because some people to an extent or degree will have a fear. If you're just starting out or you're moving on, you will have a fear of performing. You're going to reach it sometimes. It's just going to happen. It's the human within all of us. So I have to say that so I can show you all that it is a humanistic thing to still have fear of that uncertain outcome. But once you get moving and you start doing the steps, see, the key is to start moving. Once you start moving and you start seeing implementation being worked, now if something does work or doesn't work, you tweak it. Does that make sense? Does it make some type of sense? I know it's got to make some type of sense to y'all. I know it does. But it's all right. You know, because the key to it, another key to falling in love with selling is to love the product or service that you offer when you're in the certain space or niche that you are in. Okay? You have to love what you do. Now, to me, this is basic. Because I love life coaching. You know, I love life coaching. I love sharing information and talking to you all about information. Okay. I also love when I sit across from somebody and we talk about payment. I love that too. Who doesn't love that? You know what I mean? Who doesn't want to be compensated for the work that they know that they can provide to somebody when they know they can receive a measured outcome from that? True story. I had a client. And with me having this client, I went ahead, I showed her how to get certain things set up, and she didn't have a coaching business. It was a somewhat of a coaching business, but she didn't have a coaching business. She didn't have a system. She didn't have something she can apply to people. We applied some of the tools and concepts that I got, boom, bada, bam. And what did? We had conversations. I don't ever have coaching sessions. I have conversations with people about what they wish to do because I don't tell any of my clients what to do. They tell me what they want, and I say, okay, let's see if we can map out some steps for you to get it. You know, let's see if we can map out some steps for you to get it. And this is actually why this particular client wants to come back to me and do business with me again, because she saw the outcome that we had put out, that the outcome that she had put out there. I ain't going to say we, because I didn't put out nothing. She did all the work. And she put it out there. She saw the result from the outcome that I told her that she could receive. She received said outcome, which gave me credibility to how I work my system. And I'm telling you, people, that all you have to do is follow the same concept. That's all it is. For a few of y'all, this might be rocket science. It might be hard. You know, but the first step is implementation. Let me tell you a fact here. You'll never know your limitations unless you put action behind the work that you want to have accomplished. You'll never know your limitations until you put action behind the work that you wish to accomplish. Y'all have to know that. You have to know that. And the way that you know that is only by implementation. Now, when we talked about the 4 levels of success, you have to remember, we always got to start on the bottom before we get to the top. So in your business, I said, many of you all are going to be implementers. I'm an implementer, you know, because this life coach Jeff doing his thing. So I am an implementer. But with me being an implementer, I also know how to communicate. So with me being the implementer in my own business, I also have the ability to go ahead and communicate to my clients or my customers what it is that we can do for them, that I can do for them. And then once we do that said thing, what do I say? That means I have the opportunity to have customer retention. And all customer retention is you keep them coming back to you. You give them more reasons for them to come back to you. That's all it is. That's all it is, people. And the thing is, you can generate that same thing. What do we do with our friends? Think about it. Don't we get our friends to always talk to us every single day? We have certain people that we share information with, and we call them when we get good information, right? I just did that very same thing today. I'll call my homeboy, my homegirl today about good information that I got because I called them because I know it's something that they're looking to want to implement. So there's a shared a shared common interest between the network that I have. I take that information, it's shared with my people. And once it's shared with my people, we are more than likely to implement, right? And that's the power of networking. That's a whole nother episode, people. That's just the power of networking, but that's a whole nother episode. But I say that to say this. Once again, you are taking something that you learned and you are able to present it to your people. If you can take information and present it to your people on a daily basis, the friends that you have, your family, people who you meet off on the streets and you have conversations with, why can't you do that within your business? That's all I'm saying. My boy would tell me all the time, he said, Jeff, know your worth. Jeff, know your worth. Jeff, know your worth. And you know what? I saw some things today that allowed me to know my worth a heck of a lot, even more. And I said to myself, why can't the people that are watching and that listen to the podcast, they shouldn't have to not be exposed to different things that can add more value to themselves too. So this is why I wanted to do a live show today specifically. I wanted to get on and share some of these nuggets with you all. So that way, when it all comes time to go ahead and start implementing your art of selling, because all selling is you have to love yourself. Remember, you are your first product. Always remember that. You yourself, the physical person, you are your first product. How people see you is how people will see your business. And how people see your business is how people will see you. They run congruent with each other. So why not work on yourself first? I always tell y'all this. The name, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, behind on the back. Redirect is shifting the mindset. Regroup is self-awareness. And refocus is call to action. If you implement those three things in your life with shifting the mindset, self-awareness, and call to action, I guarantee you within yourself, if you apply the work that it takes to do it, and also with selling, you apply those three concepts to selling, you will be able to achieve the selling part. I'll drop 3 nuggets for you. I'll relate them to each all to redirect, regroup, and refocus. I said redirect, selling. Like I said, you have to fall in love with selling. Most people don't like selling because they don't like to be pitched to. Okay. They don't like to be pitched to. But what did I just get done telling you? I told you that everybody, right? I told you that everybody sells on a daily basis. So if you don't want to be pitched to, it's fine. But just know you indirectly pitch something to somebody each and every day of your life. So you have to change your mindset and what you think about selling. I don't sell nothing a day in my life. I have conversations with people. I tell them what I do. They like what I do. They say they want to talk to me later. Okay, the door is open for us to talk later. We're either going to do one or two things. By the time I get done with the conversation with them, I'm either going to have some money in my pocket, or if I don't have money in my pocket, they're going to continue to look at my page. They're going to continue to see what I'm talking about. And once something I say triggers right there in their mind, boom, I get another call back. Hey, life coach, I heard what you was talking about. Hey, I want to see what you think about this. Yeah, we can see about it. Let's see if you want to work with me. And yay and nay from there. That's how it goes. Like I said, people, shift your mindset. Think different about selling. Now, regroup is your self-awareness part, meaning you have to look within yourself while you're shifting your mindset. You have to ask yourself, why do I feel the way I feel about selling? Could it be because selling in your life always had a negative connotation to it? Could it be because when I went ahead and I worked for people and I had to sell, they taught me some lame concepts and excuses or whatever and blah, 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 blah. And then boom. Okay, now I just hate it. Or you might have been like me, starting off working in telemarketing. And when you worked in telemarketing, you had a script you had to follow. I had a very easy script when I did Discover Card People. I was blessed. I ain't even going to hold you. I was blessed. I know something called call flow, and I credit call flow to the reason why I'm able to just have conversations with people about what I do, and then they draw interest in what I do because I understand how that flow works. You have to understand how that flow works. The same practices that I used in America are the exact same practices that I use. Exact same practices I use. Some of y'all never worked for a telemarketing agency a day in your life, so some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But for the ones that do, I dropped a nice little nugget for y'all if you got a little side hustle going on. So use those same practices that you have attained or skills to your business. That's that self-awareness part. So now I had to go ahead and I had to take that and shift it and say, okay, this is why I feel the way I do about selling. So now with refocus, what are you going to do to correct that action? What are you actually going to do to actually gain leads, pitch your product to people? What is going to be the action outcome off of that? Are you now going to be so confident in what it is that you're selling? Now, meaning for my people in personal development, are you finally going to be confident in you yourself that now you're okay with your insecurities? You're okay with how you feel about certain things within life, as long as they make you happy, because we all have an opinion about things when they make us mad or sad, right? We all got something to say about the mad or sad stuff. But are you still able to figure out your action and your outcome within these elements? So what are the next steps? You should be able to feel confident in who you are and what you are in order to tell somebody who you are and what you represent. Once again, if you're willing to do it for a job that will pay you money and will trade in time, that'll also be another episode too, time for money. Don't get me started on that bad boy. That's a whole colossal beast right there. And I'll get into that heavy. I might drop nuggets tonight. I'm going to let y'all know we will be on Dope Living TV Live. Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. Life Coach Jeff will be on Dope Living TV Live tonight with Greg Gray, Gina Gasson, myself, Marcella Amos, and Maurice Bishop Sr. We will be on YouTube and Facebook, Just type in Dope Living TV Live on Facebook in the search bar, and you'll get to see all of us. And tonight we're going to be dropping some nuggets, so y'all tune in at 7 o'clock. And I might just drop some nuggets about that, because I bought it up tonight. So if you want to hear some of the continuation of what I was talking about, tune in tonight. You'll get a little something. But yes, that action part, man. Look at your end result and see what you're going to do to satisfy yourself at the end of that. So what do? We talked about shifting your mindset, right? You have to think different about selling. You have to do research. You have to think different about selling. And you also have to realize that selling pertains to you in your personal life, and you have to feel good about yourself in order to feel good about the thing that you're going to sell. Okay? You have to feel good about yourself in order to love the niche or the product or service that you provide. So now you can go ahead and push it out to people. Regroup, self-awareness. Why do you have that negative connotation about selling? Or why do you feel the way you feel about selling? Are you afraid? Do you have anxiety? Are you scared of the unpredicted outcome? What did my man say? Yes, you should. It is important. Kudos to you for filling up your audience's pockets with these nuggets. Man, I'm trying to tell you, sir. I'm trying to tell you, man. Trying to fill up their pockets, bad. Trying to let them know. What did Christ say? Eyes to see. Those who have the eyes to see, let them see. Those that have the ear to hear, let them hear. So, when we put out these nuggets, if you got the eyes to see it, that's why I'm coming to you like this. If you got the ears to hear it, we're also going to drop this at about 6:10, 6:15 on all major podcast networks as well. So you can catch it on there too for a second dose if you need to reiterate it to you. But yes, that self-awareness piece, people, back to that. Please ask yourself why you feel the way you feel about selling, and really do a deep dive into that and to be honest with yourself. And then when we hit the refocus part, what is your action, your outcome because of it? Now, by the time we get to this point, what did I tell you? I told you not to be scared and nervous about the unexpected outcome. So by the time we get to this point, you should be ready and we should be willing to go, right? We should be ready to make that happen. If not, we got to go back to the regroup stage and we have to reassess. Now, reassessment always I would like to say sometimes it wastes time, but we're not going to say that, because even though time is of the essence and time for money means something, once again, that's another subject. You have to remember, you still want to take your time, but you don't want to waste your time. Because there's going to become a time when you are going to have to put action behind the words that you believe. So when you're finally ready to put action behind the words that you believe, boom, you off to the races, people, off to the races. And I will tell you this from experience. Any knowledge that you end up getting and it benefits you, learn how to 10x what you want. Learn how to maximize your outcome, your individual outcome. And let's be real. I'm going to be honest with you. Nobody really has the individual steps to do that, to give it to you. It's a lot of people who tell you do this, do that. But this is why life coaching has the ability to be effective, because it shows people the greatness within inside of them. You know what I mean? You work with me, I'm going to show you the greatness that's inside of you. That's just hands down. That's just how it goes, because that's how it should be. But yes, everybody, we have reached the 30-minute mark, and y'all know I don't like to go over that time period. I do not like to go. One person already checked out now because they looked at the fact that it was 30 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. We 30 minutes past, right on. So we about to get out of here, people. So remember, take these things that I said today, okay? Take these things that I said today and run with it. And be sure that it's something that will provide value to yourself. If you happen to like this video today, please like it, share it, comment on here. You know, share with some people. Let some people know some stuff that you went through as well. Provide this information to somebody that needs it. So, all right, y'all. Once again, it's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you. And remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. I love y'all. Peace out. Thank you for listening and tuning into the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. We do thank you and appreciate and value you as a listener. Now, I would like to just throw in, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram as Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, and also Life Coach Jeff Relaford. You can also find me on Facebook as Jeff Relaford. That's my personal page. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I always put up some good inspirational content. And also the business page, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus on Facebook as well. So, all right, you all, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we will be here again. Remember, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. I love y'all. Peace out.